All right, shalom, shalom. Another edition of the Spiritual Thoughts in Transit. Of course, before I begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rechak Kodash, and also as well double honors to the apostles and the others of Great Millstone that continue to rule very well to this very day, that is continually feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And I'm also as well, likewise, shalom to the whole elect that's continually laboring this work and continuing to labor to show forth your diligence to make your calling and election sure in faith, in truth and sincerity, and also in charity. Now, of course, again, with another spiritual thoughts in transit, just going to hop right into the spirit, whatever hops in my mind to bring out, I'm going to speak on that. But, it's going into the spirit that we was getting into at the camp today concerning this current kingdom, which, all the points I made at the camp were beautiful. And, mainly what was touching up on is just the complete downfall and deconstruction of this wicked kingdom, this wicked society. All right. And, and it's clear the reasoning behind the downfall of this current kingdom. There's a reason why, these things are happening. There's a reason why this system is breaking down the way it is. People are losing their minds trying to figure out, the reason why, certain things are happening, or why, America is going through the things that they're going through right now. But the answers are right here. I mean, look at history. History has shown you the dealings of this wicked kingdom, and of course, the ones who are residing over this kingdom is Esau Edom, which is the true biblical nationality of the so-called white man. Okay. See, when you take a viewpoint and you do a diagnosis and you examine the recent events that took place, or the events that took place before time, right? You will understand the reason why this system is breaking down. And all this is according to prophecy. At the end of the day. Okay, because at the end of the day, the Lord's will is going to be performed. Okay, but a thing that I was thinking about earlier, while I was doing the work, is that the Lord has specifically put these things into prophecy, right, and written it out, and now you see these things, but at the same time, as these things were already written and these things were said concerning prophecy, that means that somebody has to be there to do those things. Somebody has to fulfill those works in order for these things to come to pass, right? And I believe a precept was brought out earlier saying that how can it be good that is sown good can come unless the things that are sown evil being destroyed. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so the thing that was sown, which was evil, right? That evil seed, it was sown and it grew. All right, and the only way that the good can come is that evil seed, or that evil fruit or plant, it has to be uprooted. All right, and that's why Yahushai, who these people inwardly call Jesus, is known as the husbandman. All right, because a part of the duties of a husbandman is to not only plant, but also to uproot. Okay, to root out, and that's what our Lord Yahushua, who is the husbandman, is going to do. He's going to return and he's going to uproot this wicked plant. All right, and the seed of righteousness is going to be planted in the earth. All right, and then from that's where righteousness is going to proceed from. Okay, but again, it starts with the uprooting of that wicked seed. Okay, so now that it's been planted, all right, and these hurtful works have been fulfilled, so now the Lord has built up a case against this place. All right, now the Lord is justified and it's doing. Okay? We always say that, look, man, we challenge anybody to give us a good reason why America should not be destroyed or dismantled. And you cannot come up with one, all right? Because most of the time when you see people, you ask them if America should be destroyed, 7 times out of 10, they'll say, yeah, all right? But sometimes, they'll just say it just to say it. But other times it's like, yeah, but they can't really tell you the reason why this place should be destroyed, all right? Because the reason why, because they know that this system is breaking down. They know that their time is up, okay? They feel it. They can't explain the reason why they know this, or they can't explain the reason why this is happening, right? But they know that this is the end, okay? So that's why now, the Lord has presented the case against Babylon the Great, and now it's only a matter of time before the judgment is set. All right, the case in point, and the brothers hit it home today concerning this judgment. All right, this case has been presented because it's a process. All right, because first, the future has been identified. Right, the charges have been brought. All right, the case has been built, and now the court is in session. All right. And now that court is in session, right now all the evidence is being brought out, right? Evidence, and really that the main evidence that you see in this very time, right? The evidence is us being here in Babylon the Great, all right? And Esau can't run away from that. It says in the book of Exodus, it says that if anyone stealeth the man and he be found in his hand, right, then he shall surely be put to death. And guess what? We were stolen, all right? And we're still in the hands of these Edomites. So that places Esau, Edom at the scene of the crime, okay? So that's one of the evidence, right? And then you have Esau that put up tokens to show the atrocities that he's committed. All right, he left behind, certain things that reveals his wickedness. All right, and since those things have been brought up, so now the judgment is set. Okay, it's just like a prisoner, right, or somebody who's been incarcerated. The charges get brought up against them. Okay, and they're brought into a courtroom, and court is in session, and they bring up bring up a case against them, and then they prosecute him. Okay, and then they determine the judgment of what he's going to get. All right, now it can go from being from bail, having to pay a bail, or for them to bail him out, right? Or it can lead all the way up to the ultimate judgment, which is what? Death row. Okay. But the thing is that if you have a certain person who's incarcerated, put on death row, guess what? They don't put him to death right then and there, on that same day that he's got the sentence. All right. Once he got death row, guess what? They lead him out, right? They feed him. They feed him good food. That's why you have a last meal. And he'll eat good. They'll give him certain things for his pleasure. All right, the things that are pleasurable to him, right? They basically fulfill all the pleasures that he want. All right, they give it to him. Okay, and then after those pleasures have been given, right, and then on the day which he's to be put to death, then guess what? That's it. All right, so it's no different than how this place is going out today. All right, the sentence has been given that this place is going to be destroyed, and that Esau, Edom, is going to be destroyed, and also the people who love this place and also love Esau, the so-called white man, they're also going to be destroyed. And this is what the Lord is doing right now. The Lord is giving them the pleasures of their hearts. All right, He's allowing these people to do their dirt and to fulfill all their pleasures, right? And to get into wherever they want to get into. And then on the day of judgment, they're going to be destroyed. Okay? And that's how the Lord is dealing in this time. Okay? The Lord has given them up to these certain pleasures, all right, which is known as consolations, pursuant to, I believe in the book of Luke, if I'm not mistaken, where it says, "Woe unto them that are rich, for they have received their consolation." All right, and of course, that word consolation means comfort. Okay, so the Lord has given them their consolation, their comfort. All right, and to the point to where the Lord's going to take those away, and they're going to be destroyed. Okay, and the way that the sentence is going out is by way of the man of the Lord. All right, and as you can see, man, these people, you know, they're ready for the taking, man. All right, which that's the spirit, because that's the same thing that happened with when Joshua scoped out the city. All right, when he sent out spies to the city, or when Joshua had spied out the city, you know, to see whether whether they were able to take down that city. And guess what? Joshua came back with a report saying that, look, these people are ready to be taken. All right, that city is ready to be taken and captured. All right, and we're bringing back the report, or we're reporting that this land of Babylon the Great is ready to be taken and destroyed. All right, and it even says in the precepts. All right, I believe it's in the book of Isaiah, if I'm not mistaken, Slaki. But it says that I believe either Isaiah or Jeremiah, one or two, where it says Babylon is taken, Merodach is broken, or Bel is confounded. So Babylon is taken. All right, it's taken, and when it says that, you know, it's speaking in past tense, like I said last week in in the live stream, is that this place has already been destroyed. Okay, it's already been destroyed and it's already been taken. Okay, but you can see that they're even ready for the taking, man, as sheep to the slaughter. Okay, you know, they can't handle, you know, they can't handle the vibration which is distributed through Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, which is the vibration of war. Okay, that's why when Esau's army, when they try to fight against the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, they're not going to be able to stand up to him, man, because you're coming up against a man of war. Okay, you're coming up against the Lord of hosts, the Lord of Sabaoth. All right, there's a reason why the Lord's been given those titles, those accolades. Okay, because the Lord is over the armies of the angels. All right, even Yahweh Shai, even when he's in the flesh, he said, look, I can at any time call down 12 legions of angels to fight for me. All right, that's the power that we're dealing with, man. Okay, and Esau, in his pride, thinks that he's going to come up against a power like that. All right, a power that's able to call down legions of angels to fight. All right, but that shows you how foolish this man really is, man. Okay, because he thinks that his technology outperforms all the technologies on the planet Earth. All right, because he still refuses to acknowledge that there's a higher power. All right, even though it's right there in front of his face, but yet he puts himself up as being that higher power. Okay, that man can transcend what the Most High has laid down. All right, that's why you have a term which, you know, we touched up on at the camp, is transhumanism. All right, basically the transcending the human capabilities. All right, and what's going to cement that is the mark of the beast, all right, or the MOB. We really can't say, we can't say, MOB or like, what I just said, we gotta say MOB or, use certain buzzwords. But that's also Esau, down, trying to get rid of this truth, you know. But yeah, what's gonna cement that is the MOB, all right, the MOTB, the Revelation 13 verse 16. That's what's going to submit his motive and his agenda of transhumanism. All right, but the people what they don't understand is that that really is the mark of death. All right, and the people that take that, right, are going to be marked for death. Okay, that's why in Ezekiel chapter 9, starting at verse 4, it says that there's going to be ones who have the mark to be redeemed, or to be to not taste of the judgment of Yahweh Shemel Shai. And it also says that, and to the others in his hearing, he commanded them to go through the city and smite. All right, those are the ones who has the other mark. All right, but going back into that term, transhumanism, right? Esau, uses that term transhumanism because he believes that he can transcend the human capabilities and be like the Most High. That's the main reason behind transhumanism. All right, and transhumanism is a byproduct of what the higher-ups of Esau called a Scientology. Okay, and they worship that. Okay, there's even if you look it up, there's even a foundation called the Church of Scientology, and they do have a Church of Scientology. If you look it up, because they really believe that. They really believe that through their technology that they have, they're able to come up or to overpass the works of Yahweh Shemel Shai. But again, they don't understand that the Lord himself is the one who's even given them that technology to even attempt to do that. All right? Again, like I said at the beginning, and this all ties together. Okay? So the Lord gave them this wisdom to do that and to attempt to try to transcend. But the thing is that in the way that it ties in together is that now they're placed at the scene of the crime. Now that they're fulfilling the works that the Lord said they were going to do. All right, and now that sentence is being put out that he's doing that, right? And this time, okay, and now he has nowhere to go. All right, he has nowhere else to run to, because now he's on the spotlight. The Lord called him out. Okay, the Lord said, "Look, it's going to be a certain individual or individuals that's going to do this." Okay, and now who do you have that's trying to do that? Esau, and not just your average everyday Joe Blow Edomite. Walking up and down the street. No, this is going to the higher ups, the bankers, the one that control the FRNs, the Federal Reserve. All right, the ones that control the media. All right, and the legislations that you see today. All right, the ones behind the scenes, the secret councils, like the scriptures say. All right, these are the ones that are attempting to do this. Okay, but the Lord has said before time that this is who is going to do this, and now you see this man that's doing this at this very time, and now he's identified. Okay, because again, the Lord called him out before time, before these things happen, and now you see who it is. And like the brother brought out at the beginning of the camp, 2 Thessalonians, that that man of sin was going to be revealed after we fell away, and we did fall away. All right, we fell away through these captivities. All right, which and especially it was pronounced in this last captivity that we're a part of right now, which is the captivity underneath Esau Edom. Okay, this is where it's really pronounced, and this is where the falling away came in full force. So our people for a time did not know who we were. Okay, and then afterwards, that man of sin was revealed, because even before time in the ancient world, during the time of the Greeks and the Romans, the majority of Israel, it wasn't well known, who the enemy was. All right, it wasn't known, who the wicked really wasn't in that time. All right, but now it's being revealed today. Okay. Again, that the future that has ran away from judgment for all these years, now he's been found out. Okay, and he can't run away anymore. All right, he tried to run away through these different identities. Try to call himself these certain peoples, and Esau is on record for doing that. If you read into the Edomites that came into the Greek Empire, up into the Roman Empire, there's a fact that's written and is well documented that Esau Edom, when he went to go conquer a land, he would call himself after those people that he would rule over. So that's why through Philip we affectionately call Philip the Barbarian, all right, which is Philip the Macedonian, all right, through that line, that's when they started to rule over. That's when they started to rule as the Greeks. But before they even came into power as the Greeks, right, they weren't known as the Greeks, okay, because you had another people that were named that, all right, which were the people of Japheth. Okay, which before town it was known as the Minoans and Etruscans, and then afterwards, after Esau came into power, then he called themselves the Greeks and the Romans, because the Minoans and Etruscans, all right, they also after they were called the Minoans and the Etruscans, they were called the Greeks, all right, and then Esau came into power over them, and then he started calling himself Greeks, all right, and then he started calling themselves the Romans, okay. So this man is not original, man. All right, he's done nothing but take identities and put himself as being those people. All right. So when you read about the Greeks and the Romans in their rulership, in their empire, all right, just know that those are fugitives. All right, and they are not the original Greeks and Romans. Okay, and really the original Greeks and Romans were the Japhites. All right. But before that, they were known as Edomites. Okay, but that goes to show you that this man, he has the characteristics of a fugitive. All right, which is also spoken of in the book of Job, I believe the 30th chapter, where it says they cried after him as a thief. All right, and he was driven away from among men. Okay, and then the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai raised them up. Okay, raised them up to go into rulership into perdition. Okay, a man who can't even speak one word or try to make coherent sentences or anything of that nature, the Lord raised him up. All right, a man who just lived a vile life as a cave dweller, raised him up and brought him in and made him a ruler. Okay, and that lets you know how powerful Yahweh Bashim Shai is, man, to take a base man and make him ruler over all. All right, but by that same power, right, the same one that put this man in power, is also going to be the same one to take him out of power. Okay? But, going to Esau, Edom, being fugitive, right? So not only did he try to make himself into a Greek or a Roman, also try to make himself an Egyptian, even going as far as to make himself into us, the Israelites. All right? And that's why Revelation chapter 3, I believe it's at verse, I believe it's 3, no, not 3 and 10. It's another scripture. Don't remember exactly where it is in Revelations. Slack. It's been a while since we brought it out. I believe it's 3 and 9. It's 3 and 9 and 2 and 9, if I'm not mistaken. Or I might be misquoting it. But it says that it speaks about the ones who call themselves Jews but are not. All right? But do lie. Okay? So you have a certain sect of Edomites that call themselves the people of the Lord, but the scriptures say that they're lying. All right? They're deceiving. They're acting underneath that shroud of deception, which is their characteristics. All right? And a fugitive is going to do that. A fugitive is going to use every single tactic that they can find in order to keep up that deception. Okay? To scurry away into the shadows. Okay? And hide himself. But pursuant to Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, we brought it out in the camp as well. Jeremiah, the 49th chapter, said that the Lord has made Esau bare. Okay? And he has uncovered his secret places. And he is no longer able to hide himself. All right? So now Esau, Edom, can no longer hide himself. And the Lord has found him out. Because the light is showing now. All right? The light has shined down on this place. In this current world that we live in today, the light has shined down, and now that darkness is scurrying away. All right, and now it's gotten to the point where the darkness can no longer hide. Okay, because now it's that light that the Lord has brought forth on the planet Earth is now filling the entire planet Earth, and now darkness has nowhere else to run. Okay, so that's why this man, he's going to resort to what he does best, to destroy. All right, with the blessing that was given unto him by our forefather Isaac. All right, so the Lord is going to continue to scrutinize this man through prophecy, through the scriptures. All right, to the point to where this man has no choice but to just revert back to the sword. Okay, but also underneath that same shroud of secrecy that he operates under, right? That's also the characteristics of a hunter. Okay, because now we get to the time to where the hunter is going to be hunted. All right, that the cunning hunter, in which a hunter, that's also the attributes of a hunter to deceive. All right, the hunter lays down a snare, all right, or a trap to trap up, in this case, in this time, men, all right, which really is our people, right? The Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And let me switch hands real quick. Slacking. The hands are getting kind of tired. But yeah, so this man has laid down a snare in a trap, and he does it underneath deception. Okay, and that's the only way that you're able to catch prey. All right, the way that this man catches his prey is that he lays down the snare in the trap, and he camouflages it. You know, he covers it up. You know, and that's what this man has done concerning his works. You know, and not just his works, but basically who he really is. You know, he's covered up the facts, and that's why he's been on a tirade trying to take off or to get rid of all the information concerning his history. Okay, and that's why it's also written in the book of Habakkuk, if I'm not mistaken, about his shameful spewing. All right, and that shameful spewing right now is on his glory. All right, and that shameful spewing is in the way of his history. Okay, so now this man is trying to get rid of the evidence, right? And still operating underneath that shroud of deception. So he laid down the snare and the trap. All right, he laid down the camouflage. He covered it up, right? And he's put down some bait. All right. Now, that bait is anything that's sweet to the individual that gets caught up in that snare or in that trap. All right. And once it gets baited, right, with that goodly thing, which comes in the form of your pleasures, because your own pleasures can trap you up. All right. In this time, okay. So by the pleasures, that's how Esau baits our people, by pulling on their pleasures. All right. And then once Esau's got his clutches on his prey, then that's a done deal. Okay, but again, he does it by way of using that bait, which is that pleasure, to trap up our people. Okay, anything that's sweet to him. All right, but like I said earlier, concerning him being the hunter, all right, guess what? He himself is going to be hunted. All right, and he's going to be hunted by the main hunter, which is Yahushai, and he's going to allow his men, which are the elect, to also hunt him out as well. All right, pursuant to Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16, where it says the fishers of men will become the hunters of men. All right, the fishers are going to become the hunters. All right, and the hunters are going to hunt out this man from every single place that where he is. All right, because again, like I said earlier, he's not able to run. He's no longer able to hide. All right, and he's no longer able to cloak himself or cover himself up. There's another scripture in the book of Isaiah that says that the Lord has destroyed the covering cast over all people. All right, and the veil which is spread over all nations. Okay, so that veil has been destroyed, man. All the nations have been identified. Okay, Israel was the main one. All right, Esau has been identified. All right, Ammon, Moab, Ishmael, Japheth, Ham. All nations have been identified to who we really are. All right. So the Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, that's why now is the time to repent. All right, so that we can get up out of here, man. All right, and so you won't have to taste the destruction that's coming. All right, but for the rest that's outside of the nation of Israel, guess what? You got a terrible fate coming. All right. But that's all I want to go ahead and bring out on this live stream. And that's pretty much, here's the point, through the Spirit. But of course, like always, again, hopefully it's edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. The sincere Akim, Tzadakim, the sincere brothers, the few sisters that believe as well. Hopefully this was indeed edifying. Until next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Also as well, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well to this day. Shalom, peace and safety, salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring this work, continuing to plow, and show forth your diligence to make your calling and election sure, and faith, and truth and sincerity, and also in all charity. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.